So we have some extraordinary readings for Mass today, this prophecy, this vision of Ezekiel, and with this incredible healing from the Lord, both of which we could spend hours reflecting on. But instead, I want to just draw our attention to the psalm that we just prayed. The psalm response. And let me first ask this question to kind of set the stage here. A sort of litany of examination of conscience for us a little bit, examination of our hearts. When you find in life when things feel like they're just kind of crumbling or falling apart around you, to what do you turn? Or where do you turn? Where do you go? Or where do you go when close friends, it feels like, betray you? Or where do you turn, or what do you do when you, in situations when you feel like little or small or insecure or nervous or anxious or inadequate? We all feel these things eventually at some point or another. Like, where do you turn when you feel scared? What do you run to? What do you reach for? What comes out of you in these moments? Again, I ask this as a sort of examination of conscience, an examination of our hearts to set the stage, because I think most of us, having grown up in this fallen world and having adapted our hearts to this fallen world, most of us, when we feel like that, any of those things, we turn inward. We turn inward. Some of us, we turn to anger. Maybe some of us turn to control, trying to, assert some type of power to control the situation around me, trying to wrap myself around the chaos or whatever it might be. Or if you're like me, maybe what you do is you kind of get hyper-focused and get into work efficiency mode and kind of put blinders on. It's been one of my faults for my whole life. Just head down, grind your way through it. Some people turn to booze. Some people turn to food. Some people turn to lust to numb it out. Some people scroll and binge and watch all sorts of things. Or we become really self-reliant. That's another thing. We become really self-reliant, self-sufficient. We turn ourselves into Atlas, right, holding up the world. What we often do as a last resort is honestly turn to God, which is wild considering everything that He's revealed about who He is. It's wild considering who He has told us He is and what He has told us that He desires to be. In addition to the promises that He's made to us and the length to which He's gone to convince us of His goodness and to make good on His promises. Again, this psalm response today is what stopped me in my tracks. The Lord of hosts is with us. Our stronghold is the God of Jacob, right? That phrase, the Lord of hosts, hostia in the Greek, it means army. The Lord of the angelic army is with us. This force beyond reckoning, this unbelievable celestial power is the one who is with us. Our stronghold is the God of Jacob. What's a stronghold? Because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, my mind always, right here, my mind immediately went to the two towers and the imagery of Helm's Deep. I know I've just lost some of you this morning. Some of you are right there with me. But okay, in the two towers, Tolkien has this fortress known as Helm's Deep, where the people of Rohan, they retreat to this mountain fortress. It's got these huge stone walls with these layers of walls that protect the people from invading armies, right? That's what a fortress is. In the psalm, the Lord is saying through David, the psalmist, He's saying, I am that for you. This impenetrable, powerful, strong place where you can feel safe, where you can feel secure, where you are not threatened. And the question is, in what way is that true? In what way is He our stronghold? To be anchored, I would say this, to be anchored in the Father's love, to be anchored in the truth and the reality of the Father's gaze, to know what it is like to have the Father gaze upon us, and to, in that, be convinced of His goodness and to be convinced of His personal attentiveness to us. Here's the reality. Terrible things might overwhelm you. They will. It'll happen. It's already happened. It's going to happen again. Terrible things will come. Friends will betray us. Friends will move away. Friends will die. Sickness may befall us. It may, again, feel like your life is crumbling, right? But staring into the face of the Father, looking at his eyes, looking at how he gazes upon us, he doesn't look away. You end up feeling incredibly safe, secure, protected. This assurance that he's got me. Like everything is going to be okay. Despite everything, everything is going to be okay. Because this is a love that I can bank on, that he will bring me through this, whatever this is, not just like somehow, but he will bring me through this triumphantly, right? This is the God that we have. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold. Amen.